Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Jay. This is Krista. We're with Say I Do Forever, and today is Wednesday, and it is Hot Topic Wednesday, and it is in 7-part series. And the first one is communication, how to keep it together.
Yep, I think this is probably the most important video in the entire series of 7 things that you need to know if you're going to be ready to get married.
Yep.
This video is all about communication, and actually that will help you in all the other areas.
Yep.
So this is like a foundation stone.
Yeah, this is
You
this is
learn
crucial.
this. If you learn this, you'll have a good marriage.
Yep. And just as a sample, in James 1:9, it says, "Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." And that's very, very important in marriage. Trust me, I know.
So quick to listen, slow to speak,
And slow to become angry.
and slow to become angry. But also, if you're a closed off person, you need to be, you need to speak. And if you're
Be vocal, yeah.
yeah. Usually in spouses, there's one person who's a little more vocal than the other.
Yep.
So the person who's not as vocal needs to learn how to speak up,
And
and
then
the person who does all the talking needs to shut up.
And then sometimes
I'll just be quiet.
over the years that changes, and then the person who was quiet and the person who used to talk a lot switches. And then suddenly the quiet mouse one starts to talk a lot,
quiet.
and the one that goes shutty. So
it transitions.
it does. Over time, it may or may not, but in our relationship, it did.
So one little thing, if we're going to give you 5 don'ts to good communication and 5 do's with a little bonus one. But we also recommend that this topic is so big and there's so much to learn that I would, if I was you, there's too much to put in one video. But there are great resources out there. Like, this is one of our favorite books, Communication, Key to Your Marriage. And each chapter actually gives you things to discuss with your spouse.
Yeah,
and
walks
learn
you
all
through
the
it.
communication with each of the different categories. Also, I don't have it in front of me, but we give out to all of our brides the Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts.
Right.
And it has, I think, 7 questions for good communication about raising children, finances, and
It covers
gives you
it all, yeah.
So it kind of gives you a template, so you don't have to start from scratch.
Nope.
You can, but we're talking in general, and we're going to give as many great details as we can in such a short video.
Yep.
But we'll start with all of the don'ts. So number 1 on our don't list is don't wait too long. What does that mean?
It means don't let it fester.
Yes.
Don't sit there and grit your teeth and just sit over here like this, all angry, and not say a word. That's what you're not supposed to do. Number 1, it's not going to help your arguing.
You don't want to wait too long, and if you need to talk to your spouse about something, you do want to wait for the right time. You don't want to wait, or that's another thing, is not to be at the wrong time when they're hungry or it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But you do want to not wait too long and talk to your spouse so that you always have that open communication. Like, hey, this has been hurting my feelings. Hey, this has been bothering me. Hey, we need to talk about our finances. Can we sit down? Can we find a good time?
And sometimes some things that you say to your spouse, you may not even realize that you're hurting their feelings or that you're making it detrimental to your marriage. Couples that we've known in the past, the husband had said one thing that was like something you never say, and it devastated their marriage, and they're no longer married. The wife took it that hard. You've got to guard your tongue.
Words are important.
Yeah, they cut. They cut deep. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
So number 1 is don't wait too long.
Okay. Number 2 is don't blame or name call.
Yeah.
You never.
Learned that. Learned that early on in our marriage. You don't call each other names and belittle each other and drive the self-esteem into
You're
the
so
ground.
lazy. You never do the dishes. You never help out. You don't want to do that.
No.
So don't name call, don't belittle, that's abuse, really.
Yeah, verbal abuse.
Verbal
and
abuse.
It doesn't get anywhere. It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't help your marriage. It doesn't strengthen your marriage. It's just, it's really bad.
Yeah.
And don't blame them for something that's probably your fault or could be your fault, or maybe it's both your faults, but, you know, don't do the blame game. That's not going to get you anywhere either.
Yeah.
You know, blaming
I think it happens
spouse.
A lot in the money fights. Like, basically you feel like now we're in a financial hurt, and even though you're both kind of involved in the decisions, you tend to go, well, if you wouldn't have bought that, or if you wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, keep in mind, this isn't 3rd grade. You don't need to be blaming each other.
Yeah.
You know, work through whatever you're thinking about before you blame the other person. Work through it. You can work through it.
Yeah. Okay, number 3 of our don'ts. Don't assume. I know what you were thinking, what your boss always said to you.
Yep. If you break down the word assume, you guys can figure it out for yourselves. I don't need to draw you a picture. So
don't assume that your spouse had evil motives for doing something. Maybe they just didn't realize.
And don't assume that you know that what your spouse was thinking. You should never assume that. It may be the furthest thing from their mind. It may be totally different. You know, don't ever assume anything.
I'm trying to think of all the different assumptions you can make, but you can go down 100 bunny trails on not assuming. Just be careful that you've got the whole story.
Right.
And that you give your spouse chance to give his or her side of the story.
Yep.
And because maybe it's simpler than you thought.
Right.
You know, maybe it's not as bad as you've made it out to be in your mind.
Yeah, when you blow things out of proportion in your head, then you're thinking the worst, and it could be not even the littlest comparison to what your brain was thinking. Oh my gosh, this is huge, to where it's like, oh yeah, well, I guess I shouldn't have assumed that. So, you know, keep that in mind.
I hate to interrupt, but number 4 on our don't is don't interrupt.
I should have saw that coming. I should have saw that she was going to do that.
Don't interrupt.
Oh boy.
So now we both don't say anything because nobody wants to interrupt.
Yeah, we don't want to interrupt each other.
But you want to if your spouse is talking to you about some, some issues or something like that, don't interrupt them in the middle of that and then say your side of the story. Hear them out all the way through.
Can I speak? I don't want to interrupt. The other thing is, you guys need to keep in mind too, is it's a respect thing. When you respect them and don't interrupt, you're respecting your spouse. You need to give them time to speak. It's not going to take them all day to say what they want to say. Just give them a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Leeway. Give them some leeway. Give them some time to get it off their chest, and then you can interject.
Yes.
Calmly, not, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's what you came up with. You don't belittle. You don't get all angry. It's not worth it. You can rationally talk to your spouse. When you get married, you can rationally talk to your spouse. You don't have to be like other couples or your parents or whoever, where all you saw growing up was people bickering or arguing or yelling or throwing things or whatever. It doesn't have to be that way.
Okay, our number 5, don't. Don't try to win every argument. Are you a great arguer, or what is it called? Debate.
I am.
Were you on debate?
I wasn't, but I used to like to argue a lot with her, but it's not worth it anymore.
Don't try to win every argument. It's not worth your marriage.
All it does,
it's not worth
it does is it plants seeds of bitterness and anger and bitterness.
Yeah.
And then it's back to not a healthy marriage, not a healthy relationship. It's a bad place to go, bad road to go down.
Yeah.
It's just not a good thing. So don't do it.
Don't try to win every argument.
Yep,
okay, now let's go to our do's. Do be present. Do try to be present.
See ya. Just kidding.
And not just present like physically, like what were you saying?
Well, I was talking about the roof up here. And,
what?
I need to get that fixed over there.
What did you just say?
Oh, you're not here? Yeah.
These things.
You need to mentally check in and be present.
Yes.
Don't ignore your spouse. You want to see him get real worked up real fast?
Put the phones down.
Yeah.
Turn off the TV.
Absolutely.
Try to put the kids to bed.
Luckily, we don't have to worry about the kids one anymore.
For us, it's the animals. Put the animals out. As soon as we get starting talking, they get jealous. So they want to get in the middle of it.
Or they have to go potty.
Or they need to get...
Oh, here we go. Got to let her outside again. Go ahead and go potty, Duchess.
Yeah, so we pretty much have children. So, be present. And here comes one of our kitties way over here.
Yep. He's taking the tour.
Yep. So, number 2 on our do's list, find the best time. And that means do not do it at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Don't wake your spouse up at 1 a.m.
Yep.
They were just trying to sleep. They got to work the next day.
Yep.
They got a lot of hard work ahead of them.
And if your spouse is a morning person or an evening person, you need to know that. Our cat is about.
He's over by you now.
It's because he needs some food.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find him. Let's see if they want to see him. This is our
Duke.
Other kitty. This is Duke.
This is Duke.
Say hi, Duke.
He's real friendly.
He's not really friendly. Just if he wants some food.
Yeah. He only likes to be pet on his terms, huh, Duke?
Yes. Hi. So.
Sorry for that little.
Be present. Don't let your animals distract you.
Don't let Duke get in your way.
But number 2 is find the best time. So it's like grocery shopping when you're hungry. Don't grocery shop when you're hungry.
It's a bad thing. Yeah.
Don't argue or try to have a deep discussion when you're hungry. Don't do it when it's the off time of...
Well, don't do it when you're tired, because then you're going to get cranky.
Yeah.
And then you got Mr. Cranky Pants and Mrs. Cranky Pants and 2 Cranky Pants. That's not going to be good.
And also,
don't do it.
Don't pounce on them the moment they come home from work.
Oh, yeah. They need wind down time.
Yeah, they've got all the pressures
they just dealt with at work.
That they just dealt with at work, and they come home, and who knows if they had a bad day or a good day or whatever, but their brain is not even, you haven't even given them any buffer time.
Yeah, give them a moment.
You jump on them then, it's not going to be good.
Yep.
So find the best time.
Yep.
And number 3 on our do list is do respect each other. You want to respect their time. You want to respect their love language, their money language, you want to respect just their personalities. Just have respect.
Show them respect, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's an honor thing.
You're on the same team, by the way.
You're honoring your spouse when you show them respect.
Yeah.
When you're not going to yell at them in an argument. You're not going to belittle them. You're not going to trash talk them. I mean, we keep going over the same things, but it's important. We're trying to drive home the point that's key.
Because we want you to say I do forever.
Yeah.
We want you to be married forever.
Yeah.
Happily married forever, not trapped. married forever.
It's not worth being
We want you to
trapped.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, okay, number 4 on our do list is do listen with genuine interest.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me again. Did you say something? I'm sorry. I need more coffee.
Or be...
Why do we have to
yes,
talk about this
I'm
at
trying
3?
to listen to you.
Why do we have to talk about this at 3 a.m.? I'm very interested.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So you do want to care about what your spouse cares about.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't care about it.
Yeah.
He talked about Pepsi Cola vending machines for years. You know how hard it is to be interested in
like she really
vending
wanted
machine
to
parts?
talk about it. Like she even cared about it.
But like you care about fashion.
But
you know? But we tried.
Yeah.
I tried to listen. I knew more about Pepsi Cola vending machines than a normal woman.
Yeah, and I know a lot more about dresses than a lot of typical men do. Not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know, Empire Waist, A-line, Mermaid, Boho. I know a lot more than some men do. Anyway.
Yes.
So I listened with interest. See?
Yes, his genuine interest, and
Yep.
it was trying really hard.
It was genuine.
Mm-hmm. And also, while
It was
we're on the
important to you.
listening thing, listening with reflective listening, we've taught that in some other videos. It's kind of like you're ordering at a fast food place, and you know, when you go and you talk into the speaker and you say you want a Big Mac and you want fries and, you know, a Pepsi or a Coke. And then they say, okay, so
What I hear you saying is
you want is
a Big Mac, a fry, and a Coke or a
correct.
Pepsi.
So you do that same thing, kind of like you're taking their order and then repeating it back to them to make sure that you didn't get the order wrong.
And I think we've talked about this in previous videos, but that doesn't mean you have to repeat every single word exactly word for word how they said it. You have to give a gist of what they said, but make sure that it's, you know, close to what they said, but not exactly word for word, because you don't want to be like a robot and try to repeat every single word, but you do want to listen to what they're saying.
Yep. And hear it with the intent that they had. And part of communication also is on the person who's talking. It's your responsibility to try to put it in words that aren't lengthy
and that your spouse
boring,
can understand.
And that your spouse can understand. So
very important.
If you blah, blah, all these emotions and you're all, okay, women, it's us. We have another book that we love to go through. It's called Men Are Like Waffles, Women Are Like Spaghetti.
That's a good book.
It's hilarious and it's really good because
we
men
will
basically have they're like in a waffle. So when they
compartmentalize.
They're in compartments, you know, like a waffle. And so if they're in the watching sports mentality box, and then you stop them in the middle of that and you say, I want to talk about the kids, they have to stop and get out of that box and jump into the other box so that they can go, okay, we're talking about the kids. So that's a really good book. But Women Are Like Spaghetti because we can talk about the kids and the sports, and we could talk about our feelings, and we could talk about
they want to talk about their feelings.
We could talk about finances because everything really, if you think about it, women are right because everything connects to everything.
Yeah, but do we have to talk about finances? That means another budget.
Listen with genuine interest.
Tell me more.
But on the other hand, nerds and women and anybody who is long-winded, shorten it. Make it simple. Don't draw it on. Tell them what you really feel. Be
genuine.
Be genuine or be to the point.
Real. Yeah. Don't beat around the bush.
Don't give them
be direct.
The whatchamacallit address that Lincoln did or whatever, one of those big
Gettysburg Address. Yeah.
Don't give them the Gettysburg Address.
Yeah. Husbands aren't looking for a speech.
Yeah. And I think it goes both ways.
Yeah. And wives aren't looking for a speech.
Yeah.
And Gertie is out there waiting for Peanuts.
That's our squirrel.
Yeah, our pet squirrel.
It's a crazy world.
It is a crazy world. We have a lot going on.
Number 5, we're there on our do's list.
Do's.
Do accept responsibility for your actions.
If you blew it, man up, woman up.
Yep.
Accept responsibility.
You know, that's maturity.
Yeah.
Is understanding that we all make mistakes. And you know what? I screwed up on that. I jumped to some conclusions. I assumed the wrong thing.
Yeah, if you buy your wife the wrong hairspray, admit to it. Go back and get the one she told you. Or take a picture of the can before you leave so you get the right one.
So accept responsibilities for your actions.
Absolutely.
And say you're sorry, and then the person on the other end forgive.
Yeah, don't let pride get in the way.
But this,
Don't get prideful and arrogant, because it's not going to end well.
Yeah.
And then that takes you back to trying to win every conversation or every argument. You don't have to do that.
Yes, definitely.
Just, humble yourself and just love your spouse.
Yep. And then you can have such a great marriage like you and I.
That's right.
Crazy man.
Crazy woman.
So anyway, this is a short video to explain a huge subject.
Yeah.
The most important subject in the 7 different reasons or ways that you know that you're ready to get married.
The 7 signs, yeah.
So, are you ready to get married? Or if you're already married, are you ready to have an amazing marriage?
Oh, yeah.
Stick with us for this series. This is just video 1. We did an intro last week, and this is 1 on communication. And next week, we're going to conquer selfishness.
Yep.
So
it'll be fun. Anyway, this is Jay and Krista helping you say I do forever. We'll see you till next time. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.